Presidential contender Mike Huckabee wants to express his own unique version of Christian empathy when it comes to the Syrian refugees, and it sounds a little bit something like this. Are they really escaping tyranny? Are they escaping poverty? Or are they really just coming because we've got cable TV?
Oh my God.
I don't mean to be trite. I'm just saying we don't know. I've got a better idea. So in reference to the idea that he says that Saudi Arabia is going to build literally hundreds and hundreds, 600 mosques for some of the Muslims who have fled Syria, when really they said that they would build one mosque in Germany for every 100 refugees, which could still be a large number, but it's not going to be 600. He said, I've got a better idea. Why doesn't Saudi Arabia host them? And we will send some assistance through our charitable organizations for some hospitals and schools. We will design the curriculum for those schools. They won't be madrasas to teach terrorism.
So when he
Mike Huckabee
said he doesn't want to be trite, I looked that up. Trite sometimes means a repulsive, insidious asshole. So I think that's what he meant. He doesn't want to be that. Too bad, too late.
Yeah.
Watch out for anybody who says, now, I don't mean to be X.
Yeah.
They're about to be X.
Hey, I'm not racist.
But
here comes some racist shit at you right now.
Exactly. The refugees are largely Muslim. And he says, but we'll teach them. We'll teach them by denying them access to our countries. But that's okay. Then we'll shove Christian propaganda down their throat because it won't be madrasas.
Yeah.
Now, madrasas are Muslim schools. I don't like madrasas. I'm going to be absolutely clear about that because I don't want you kids getting propaganda about the Quran or the Bible or any of these other things. I want them to learn science and history, etc. But when you spit in their face and then go, the only thing we'll give you is an education you don't want, and attack their identity, you're not really helping the situation.
Yeah.
And you're not really winning any converts. And they go, oh, well, Huckabee, you're right. I was coming for ESPN. You caught me. Because I love American baseball, even though I'm a Syrian refugee, and I barely escaped with my life and my kid's life when ISIS and Assad were coming to kill me, right? But thank you for your concern that you'll give me a nice Christian school.
Yeah, his reaction is a perfect example of how disconnected our politicians are to the realities of what we've done in the Middle East, and also just the lack of empathy that he has, right? He doesn't see them as people. He sees them as animals that would come here just to take advantage of cable TV. Are you kidding me right now? These people are losing their family members. They're losing everything they have. They're leaving everything that they had in order to look for a more peaceful environment for them to live in. And all he can do is insult them like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I checked into it, and we actually had cable years ago. But for some reason, they weren't fleeing Syria then. They are fleeing now during the civil war. They're fleeing in every direction to every neighboring country and crossing through multiple countries. So why are they moving on through more and more European countries? Why don't they just stay at the first one that's got TV? They've got certainly enough channels. And we were talking about a week ago about how sick it is that humans have taught ourselves different psychological tricks to consider people to be not quite human or not fully human. And he can actually imagine that there's like a guy in a boat who sees his son drown. He says, well, shit, that sucks, but you know, they've got ESPN2 there. Like, he actually thinks that that's how callous they are. And that apparently he would not do what these refugees are doing. If America descended into the state that Syria is in, he would just stay there because he doesn't want to economically impose on any of his neighbors or anything. It's just sick.
He doesn't think any of that stuff. He's just a demagoguing jerk, right? He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's whipping up anti-Muslim sentiment and fear. He's doing all those things that you shouldn't do if you're a responsible person, let alone a Christian. So he's none of those things. He's like the worst of the worst of the worst.
You know, I didn't know Huckabee was this bad, to be honest with you. I mean, like, he comes across as folksy, and sometimes he'll have some populist positions. And I know all the bad things he's done in the past, but this is beyond the pale because, you know, you probably have seen it. A lot of people have seen it. That the kid who had washed ashore, the 3-year-old that had died. He was a refugee. He was trying to get across, and he died in the water. And you see his father crying, and you see all that, and you say dismissively, they were coming for cable TV. And you get what he's doing, right? He's calling them welfare queens.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, they just want to come and get our welfare.
Yes.
You think you would risk a 3-year-old's life, your son's life, to get oxygen television or to get A&E or whatever it is, right? Like, what an asshole. What an unbelievable. And this guy was a pastor. So you'll excuse me when I don't I have some healthy skepticism about religious, zealots. So whether they're Muslim or they're Christian, right? Yeah. And they birds of a feather, and then they'll say, "Oh, the Muslims, watch out for the Muslims," and the Muslims, by the way, will say, "Oh, watch out for the Christians, watch out for the Christians." No, we got to watch out for both of you, okay? The fundamentalists who are like, "Oh, the other is the enemy."